I'm Matthew Hoyle. I studied at St John's between 2014 and 2018, and I'm currently a barrister in London, and I specialise in commercial litigation. I studied law, brackets jurisprudence, at St John's, which is a conventional law degree, and obviously, that has a relatively straightforward transition into being a lawyer, and it's quite a common career path for people who study law to then go on to be either solicitors or barristers. Although it's not the only thing that people who study law go on to do. I know lots of people who've gone on to do things like banking, journalism, consulting. Studying law gave me a very solid understanding of the whole of law. People who convert from other degrees, which is possible, and done it quite commonly, often say that they sometimes feel they don't have as full an understanding, and there are certain areas that they're not very comfortable with, or that they have to learn from scratch. Well, as doing a 3-year law degree ensures that you really have a broad understanding of the subject. For about probably half of the lawyers in London, certainly, they will study a non-law degree, and it just, there's no, as long as you've done a degree, you are eligible to do what's called the GDL, the Graduate Diploma in Law, which is a 1-year conversion course. And so I know people who were physicists, mathematicians, geographers, historians are quite common, I think, because history is about analysing evidence, and it's something that allies with law quite well. English degrees are a real wide range, and it certainly isn't the case that you have to do law to be a lawyer or a solicitor or a barrister. I did what's called mooting, which is effectively a sort of mock legal process. It's not really a mock trial. It's more of making arguments to a judge, as you would in the Supreme Court, which is very useful for figuring out if the public speaking element and the arguing element of the bar is something you would like. And those opportunities are available at most universities to lawyers and non-lawyers. I was involved with the Oxford Law Society for 2 years while I was at university, which involved less law than one might think, but involved a lot of administrative work, and running things, organising things, coordinating things. And those transferable skills are, especially as a barrister where you're self-employed, are immensely useful to be able to manage your own time and to be able to coordinate and to be able to organise things and budget. Those skills and those skills are applicable to many different careers. You can start doing experience with solicitors informally as a sixth former, certainly. Maybe not with sort of big city London firms, but with more local firms, and that will give you a valuable insight into the way that law actually works day to day, and just shows that you're thinking and wanting to make decisions about your career. So if you're a sixth former and you're thinking about the law, then reaching out to a local solicitor and just asking if you could spend a day there would be very useful. Mini pupilages are generally the sort of introduction to the bar. Obviously, the training part of being a barrister is called a pupillage. So a mini pupil is effectively the precursor to that. And generally, you would spend a day in chambers, or maybe 2 days in a chambers, which is a place where barristers work, with a barrister who will introduce you to a case they're doing, and might ask you to think about it, and might even get you to write something, or talk through it with them, or tell them how you would argue it. It can really vary. Attending a court as well, and watching some law in action, so to speak, also very useful experience to have. I would say, because it just does give you that sort of sense of it being real in a way that just reading about it on a page is not the same. You have to be able to motivate yourself to get the work done, and to manage the time in order to enable yourself to do all that work. So really, that's two things really. That's most, self-drive to work, even if you really don't like what you're doing, because there are always, in every job, there are always tasks that you don't want to do, but they have to be done, and ultimately you're responsible for them. And secondly, time management. Try and enjoy everything that you do, and enjoy being an undergraduate for what it is, because I think sometimes I felt like I was rushing to get to the end, but I would certainly reassure myself that you can breathe, and it will be okay.